Today is not going to be a gaming stream, but tomorrow will be. Tomorrow will be an actual gaming trash stream, which we haven't done in I'd guess, probably a year. I don't know. Maybe we did. Maybe I threw one in over the past year. I don't remember it though. It is certainly vanishingly rare that I do them. But I've downloaded several. I'll download several more. Absolute giga trash games from Itch.io, and we'll give it a spin. Today though, do you remember the Valorant accusations from the other day? Fluorescent was accused of raping Brick, of having consensual sex initially, then it became painful and Brick said it was painful and Fluorescent wouldn't stop, and then allegedly Fluorescent pushed Brick into having sex more. Fluorescent has responded, and Brick and the person who published the first document have responded to that and then deleted their accounts on Twitter and privated their document. But I have it. So we have the response from the accused and then a response to the response from the accusers that they want, apparently, gone, but is not gone. We'll see. The alleged diddler has apparently won, apparently dominated. Do I listen to Sleep Funk? No. I do not listen to Sleep Funk. I don't think I have ever heard of Sleep Funk, although I am aware of funk. Something very important to start with, though. You can't go straight into the diddler docs. We gotta do our daily scrandle. I'm really sorry I forgot to yesterday. We've been slacking. I didn't do it yesterday. Scrandle. Very simple, if you're not familiar. You have to guess which football stadium food, which footy match food, was preferred by denizens of the internet. You get pictures, and you get to know the locale and price. Let's scran. Lumpia. We have lumpia, spring rolls and leek with a tomato sauce, versus buffalo fried chicken burger with Korean wings. Bzzz. People are saying left, but look, if it were purely which one do I want to eat right now, I would pick the left. Consider, though, that the left is £12 and the right is 50p. I'm thinking too deeply. I don't know, man. But within the UK, that's not out of line for this. I will go left. Okay. It was a 10% difference, though. Perhaps not as large as you might expect. Buffalo chicken sandwich and fries. What am I? Is there even a bottom bun? Mostly chips. Looks like there's some fucking tartar sauce. Because that ain't mayo, that has chunks in it. It looks like tartar sauce or something. Tiny bit of ketchup on the left. I guess that's... yeah, I guess it is buffalo on the sandwich. Weird bun. £11.50. £6 is too much for those Nutella donuts as well. I'm going to say something possibly controversial. I did do a notification on Discord. I did do it. I think the left wins literally just because of the chips. I think the right loses because here's my gut reaction to the right. If I eat this, I'm going to have fucking chocolate on my hands. On the left, I'll probably get like a bit of grease or something on my fingers, but not much. On the right, I'm guaranteed sugar and chocolate all over. The left wins. Bro! Okay. Fine. Currywurst with bread or buffalo wings and chips. The currywurst is also less than half the price of the other one. So, here's the thing. I think the right is irritating. Here's the thing with the right, though. The lashings of sauce, that's not getting on the chips at all. Because the chicken is bone-in, you're not going to be getting chips with the chicken. You're going to eat them fucking separately, and then you're going to put the bones down on the chips. I have had currywurst. From a man who stuck his sausage in a machine and went bam, 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 bam to cut it. I think currywurst wins. Motherfucker. I've lost my touch. Sausage and chips with curry sauce. The chicken and chips wins. The chicken and chips wins, I think. The left, you do get guaranteed sauce on the chips. I think right is more appealing. Let's go. Did I like it? Yeah, I mean, currywurst is just like a fucking sausage with curry ketchup on it. I don't think you even have to think about this one. Yeah. You don't have to say anything. Hog roast roll and crackling or a lunchbox. With a fucking shiso leaf. Okay. Now, I'm totally into hog roast rolls with crackling. Historically, in Scrandle, people don't go for it. People don't like it. They liked it a bit, this one, but, you know, there are very similar other ones that did not go well. Mushroom pizza. I gotta tell you, that mushroom pizza looks a bit grim. Like, the dough, like, the crust looks nice enough, but that shit is gonna be soggy as hell. You can see pooling oil in the middle and stuff, and like, nah. Looks like it's gone over, like, too much in parts on the crust as well. I think right wins. Easy. Yeah, 32% on the left. Katsu curry or a cheese dog? Fuck off. The presentation on the right is too grotesque for it to be anything. The one on the right is getting a sub... The one on the right, not only will it lose, but it will have a sub 40% score. Yeah. Cheese dog is easy choice. You know nothing. You are clueless. Internet slop guzzlers. The percentage is the percentage of people who said they would eat it, I believe, when it was posted on social media. The thing on the left just looks too messy. The thing on the right is absurd, but not disgusting. And I think the £5 price, the great value, I think everyone will be like, yeah, I'd eat that. Ooh. Less than 2% in it, though. Pork neck steak or sausage and chips. With a bun and pint, it wins. With a bun and pint. Fuck me. 7 out of 10. Garbage. Let's do one more training session. Get ready for tomorrow. Waffle on a stick. Sausage and beans loaded fries. Oh, man. The thing that's not clear to me is, are these being voted on by people of that location? So they're like, pay attention to the location. Yeah, but like, was the online audience that was saying whether they'd eat it or not from that place as well? I don't think Brits would have a problem with the right. The left is not grotesquely loaded enough for Americans. I think the right wins. Motherfucker. I can't do it. I had the perfect one-touch game, and then every other time I fucked it up. Never had macaroni pie. I'm sure it can be good. That one looks horrendous. That looks like a half scooped out mini cheese roll. Oh, chicken wings. Yeah. Kielbasa? Or a hot dog? That hot dog is too fucking wide. No one wants a gaped dog. What the fuck? You like your dogs gaped? Come on. Come on. Fuck off. Garlic fries and cheese pizza. A slice of pizza and garlic fries for £13.50 versus 2 sausage, 2 bacon and an egg in a bap with 2 hash browns for $5.50. No brainer. Kielbasa slight variation versus onion bread with a pint. The with a pint though! Fuck. The with a pint though. If it was just the bread versus the kielbasa, kielbasa wins. But the with a pint, I think with a pint wins. Fuck you. You can just throw away the onion bread. You get the pint. Okay, I'm learning. Remember, this is training. I'm power scaling the additions. A pint is not worth as much to people online as I thought it was. Come and go souvlaki. Chicken strips. Now, the people online don't know how stuffed that is on the right. I bet it is not filled down to the bottom, but people are imagining it is. Fuck. Shit. Sausage and rice cake skewer. The right wins. Yeah. I bet the right is room temperature, though. Come on. Chicken tandoori pie or just pizza? The pizza. Easy. Okay. They're taking the piss now. I know I've been struggling, but you didn't need to make it that easy for me. Cheesy chips with 2 unmelted slices. No. Why is the cheese furry? Why is there, like, fur on the cheese? Looks like they got, like, corn flour on it or something. Nah. The chips on the right look oil-logged, but... I mean, yeah, there we go. Easy. And the last one, flatbreads or steak and gravy. Flatbreads, yeah. Okay. Potato on that flatbread. Alright, whatever you say. Anyway. Alright. So, that's the worst chips and cheese you've ever seen. Unfortunately, it's not the worst chips and cheese I've ever seen. I got my girlfriend cheesy chips from a takeaway that opened near us, because she was craving cheesy chips. And they put literally frozen shredded cheese onto chips that weren't even hot enough to melt it. And then closed the box in such a way that the cheese ended up being next to the chips. So instead of the chips melting the cheese stayed solid and made the chips cold. Insane. Insane. Demented.
Fallen Hyperion XX fed the streamer a $2 Superberry. You're British.
No, I'm not.
Familiar with good food.
I am not British. That is not true. I am an American. Exclusively. I do not have dual citizenship. I am just American. Alright. We have Diddler Self-Defense. Fluorescent, the Valorant gamer, was accused of pressuring a certain individual into having sex they didn't want to have. Accused of essentially trapping them at their abode and pressuring them until they slept with them. That's the primary accusation. Brief overview. This person who's accused them was like, I just want to cuddle. Fluorescent was like, if you don't want to fuck, go away. And then they sort of were like, okay, fine, maybe we can have sex if I go there. They had consensual sex that the accuser says was painful, and they say that Fluorescent didn't care about the pain. And then they say later Fluorescent pressured them into having sex when they didn't want to. There's some other stuff in there as well. Claims of emotional neglect. But who cares? That's the big one. Fluorescent has now responded, and on top of that, the accuser and the person helping the accuser provided a response to this response, and then pieced out and privated the response. But we have it to look at after this. So let's see. This is indeed a tranoid, yes. This is indeed a tranoid. And there is a... You will see lines such as, I thought she got me pregnant. Probably. Bump. Yeah. That was fun in the first document. We'll see if it comes up again. There is a pregnancy scare. Syphilis. Thank you for the gift to shares. Fluorescent jumps right in. Before I delve into the content that was recently released about me, I would like to deny that there was any sort of sexual assault between me and Brick. I want to preface that my relationship with Brick was extremely toxic from both ends. Brick seemed to have agreed with that, broadly, talking about them each one of them would try to break it off, and then the other would try and pull them back in, and Brick said that was mutual, and there was some stuff, okay. I don't think in broad strokes that's contested by the accuser. A back and forth that included many instances of controlling, guilt-tripping, and manipulation. I wanted to write this doc in my perspective. In my perspective on the events that occurred. I fucking love prepositions, let's go. Providing clarification and additional insight. Syphilis, thank you for the further gift. I appreciate it. With evidence of Brick's self-destructive behavior and instability. You gotta be careful how you do this. You're defending yourself against essentially a rape accusation. If you go too hard in discrediting them by saying they're out of their mind and insane, you've kind of accused yourself of raping someone who's not able to consent. There comes a point where it wraps around to you being guilty because of what you said about them, right? So be careful how deep you go in on they're crazy, they don't know what's happening. Syphilis, thank you for a gift to Karachi. Not to be confused with Karachi. Everything that occurred was extremely personal to me. Yeah, I'm sure. A further gift, thank you. Was that a bomb, or are you doing these one by one? I think you're doing these one by one. Thank you. Yeah, I understand. Yes, it's understood that it's personal. Your sex with this person. You'll stop? No! Did I fucking say you could stop? And I never thought that my private life would be aired out so publicly. All the events present had taken place when I was still a minor, starting all the way back to when I was 13. So the point at which Fluorescent was 13 was when they were with an ex. I believe, if I remember correctly, Brick got an ex to weigh in and talk about how Fluorescent was when they were fucking 13, which was... I painting them as like, look at this controlling fucking 13-year-old giga rapist. It's like, at that point, it's on the parents, okay? Alright? I don't remember how old they are now. I think they might still be sub 20 even. This past week has been a huge learning experience for me. The allegations pushed away a lot of people I thought I was close to, and I am grateful that I was fortunate enough to talk to some of my closest friends. And they were able to help me see how my behavior in the past was wrong, hurtful, or manipulative. Thank you to the people who have reached out and helped fully open my eyes. Okay. The initial paragraphs are to properly narrate the events that had taken place, and to hold Brick accountable for her actions as well, by adding proof and context towards the allegations. By adding proof and context towards the allegations that she has made towards me. Please. Anything bolded and quoted was taken verbatim from Brick's original documents that I would like to highlight and debunk. Debunking Brick's initial statement. Let's go. Brick said, I recall trying to break up with her after finding lewd photos of other women on her phone, but she refused to leave my house. I remember this claim being made. A couple months into our relationship, Brick would go through my phone while I was asleep without any prior consent or knowledge. There were not any lewd images or pictures saved in my camera roll. Aside from fan art that could have suggestive imagery or poses, I never had any intentions. I just enjoyed the art itself. What Brick is referencing is towards my Twitter bookmarks, which at the time contained some cosplayers who had been in suggestive poses. Okay, so you were looking at some smut. Brick is mad that you were looking at some smut. Given my read on Brick's character as a highly jealous individual, I'm inclined to believe that is indeed what Brick had a problem with. When I woke up, she locked herself in her washroom, refusing to talk to me and pushing me away without reason, to which I responded by sitting outside and eventually going home after waiting for about half an hour. When I returned home, she told me that she was unhappy with what she found, and I proceeded to remove everything from my bookmarks and told her I would not do it again, which I did not, and this issue was never brought up again. Right. So, I'm inclined to believe this, based on what we've seen of Brick, but Brick made it sound like this was specifically cheating. Made it sound like texts with selfies or something. Alright. Another time I tried to break... This is Brick talking in the original document, by the way. Another time I tried to break up with her for cheating on me with her friend. Ava was 16 at the time, and her friend was in her 20s, according to her, and Ava called my mom crying and begging to talk to me. Alright. This incident also occurred the first few months into our relationship, where Brick had gone through my phone again while I was asleep yet again. She saw texts between me and my friend, who I'll just call B, where we were catching up casually. Brick's accusations towards me cheating on her led me to permanently block my friend throughout our relationship. I just wanted to clarify that I've never cheated on Brick. I wanted to clear up any assumptions towards this friend. In terms of calling Brick's mom, it was a habit that formed throughout our relationship when she would refuse to communicate with me and block me out of nowhere constantly. This would lead me to call her mom crying and asking to be unblocked, as I lived around an hour drive from her without a means of transportation other than Uber. Okay. I don't remember what Brick had on that. I think that is pretty much just what Brick said. I don't remember there being any receipts for this. But this is a follow-up to a prior Google Doc, or rather a response to a prior Google Doc. This is the snapback. Here we go. Fake pregnancy and protection. Brick said some very strange things. Brick claimed to have taken a pregnancy test that was positive and then sent Fluorescent an image from Google Images of a pregnancy test that wasn't theirs that was positive to test how they'd respond to a joke about being pregnant, so that they'd know if they could say they were pregnant. They said they then took 2 more pregnancy tests that came out negative. That's the fake pregnancy. Brick also says that Fluorescent would not use protection. But presumably Brick agreed to that. How can Brick get pregnant? How do you think? When a man who prefers to be called a woman and a woman love each other very much, they may make love, and that can result in a pregnancy. Easy. The fighting truly began to pick up when Ava accused me of lying. This is a quote from Brick's document, to be clear, for the people who are just listening. This is Brick speaking. The fighting truly began to pick up when Ava accused me of lying about being pregnant. She had always pushed aside the idea of using protection and would say things like, "Raw feels better," or saying not to be scared, stating, "I can pull out." Due to those factors, we would constantly have unprotected sex. I love I can pull out being described as a factor. With me being 15 at the time, the idea of being pregnant scared me terribly. To start off this topic, I'd like to address the protection issue, especially since Brick and I were 15 and 16 at the time. Yeah, the very small age gap. Well, at some point, one of them was over the age of consent, and one was under, but we're talking less than a year difference. Like, actual minuscule gap, not some crazy shit like we saw from those other guys. To start off this topic, I'd like to address the protection issue, blah, blah, blah. I have never pressured Brick about unprotected sex throughout a relationship, and I have had no issue suggesting using protection if she felt uncomfortable at any given point. Okay. What? I don't know if I want to hear this. You ready? However, 5 days after the first time we had sex, she stated, I can still get pregnant if you pull out. If it happens once, we start wearing protection. LOL. I'm imagining her saying LOL in real life. And risking pregnancy for this is so funny. Sorry. When she said both these things, I assumed it was okay with her to not use protection at the time. I mean, if this first statement was made, that is agreeing to not using it up until the point it occurs. Up until the point there's a pregnancy, and presumably she'll take Plan B or something, and then they'll start wearing protection. This sentence, if said, is an agreement to it. The same conversation surrounding utilizing... We're not going on Alana Pierce rules, where if I didn't literally say the exact phrase, it doesn't count as having an implication, alright? The same conversation surrounding utilizing protection arose again on August 21st, 2023, when Brick suggested we start using protection. I immediately agreed without hesitation, as I understood the consequences that would mainly affect her, and I did not want to hurt her in any way. Attachment. Ooh. Imager. We got receipts. Why did you not have sex with condom this time, pal? I mean, you never asked. Also, I do not have any, but if you want to, we can. Less than 1 week after the first time we had unprotected sex. All I'm saying, if you want to, we can. I don't really want to, but I don't know. It's over. It's over for the accuser. It's over for Brick. You're done. Saying you were fucking pressured into having unsafe sex. The person you're saying pressured you said, if you want to, we can. And then you said, I don't really want to, but I don't know. Safe sex, whatever. I don't want to, but if you want to, I will, says the person who was supposedly pressuring them not to. Okay, I can still get pregnant even if you pull out. I don't know, man. Yeah, well, we can just pray. If it happens once we start wearing protection. Okay, that sounds good to me. Agreeing to the proposition of the person claiming they were pressured. Risking pregnancy for this is so funny. So this was written. This she stated bit made me think this was just them recounting in-person statements. No, you have receipts. Okay. Unless that's contested in the next document. GG. GG. Brick is not trans. Brick can, in fact, get pregnant. They are not talking about getting pregnant with bugs. Same day, less than 1 week after the first time we had unprotected sex, part 2. High chance of getting pregnant, right? Is that right before or right after or before the period? I'm a bee extra fertile. I don't know. What do you mean? Ovulation is extra fertile? Dude, maybe we need protection, but neither of us really want to. Well, if you ever get pregnant, we will. I hope not. But, like, I don't even want that to happen once, you know. Yeah, of course not. If you want to, I will buy condoms. It's not a big deal. Bro, I feel like my hair looks long. A little over a week after the initial sex. Sorry, don't leave Toronto. Life is much better with a girlfriend. I know I don't want to, though. We should seriously use protection. Even condoms are not even that safe. Sure. Sorry, I don't want pregnant. It's okay. I don't think we should start family. I don't think so. And this one is months later. And the accused agreed to use protection from that point. When the person, yeah. All right. She's only 15, so it's justifiably cringe. Yeah, but this is PvP. This is PvP between two people who are only months apart in age. So I think the cringe flag is on. I think cringe shots are on when they're PvPing and they were of similar age when that occurred. In regard to the fake pregnancy, the initial situation arose around late October 2023 when Brick told me her stomach hurt. She then proceeded to send a positive pregnancy test, which had me extremely worried as I just turned 17 and did not know what to do. Brick never told me that she was not pregnant. I had to find out a week later because I saw her texting a friend about how I thought she was pregnant. What the fuck? I had when I was a teenager, I had this shit pulled on me. It's not good. It is indeed very frightening. After that, Brick berates me, saying, "Common sense would tell you the pictures aren't mine." And then I asked for tests, indicating I hadn't taken any and probably should because I'm incredibly worried. I did not want to second guess her because I wanted to trust her, and I did not think that she would send me a random picture off the internet. When she first sent me the positive test, I tried to reassure and comfort her because I was unsure what else I could do, but I wanted to be there for her. After getting exposed for lying, Brick plays it off as a complete joke by ignoring the effect it had on me throughout the week. I couldn't sleep, eat, or focus on my daily life because I was worried for her every day. Oops, my stomach hurts. Why's that? Because I'm pregnant. You are not. Yeah. No, please. What? Scary to say that. Come on. Brick characterized this as obviously a joke and obviously not her test. I don't think so. I don't think so, Bricky Boo. No. No. Look, no, yes. Is that real? Yes. Did you take two, or do you only have one? No, only one. It's also very clear that Fluorescent did not take that as any kind of joke. When I see you tomorrow night, we can get two more and see, okay? Are you okay? I love you. Right. I like how I find out it's not even your picture through your DMs with someone. You told me you didn't tell anyone. Laugh my fucking ass off. Because I thought you knew. It's done for Brick. It's over. Brick, you're finished. The only defense is that these are fake. The only defense is these messages are fake. There is no other defense. Because if these are real, lied about the pressuring to not use protection. Lied about how the fake pregnancy went down. You absolutely were faking a pregnancy, messing with them. Yes, you were. Brick. Fucked up. Oh, nice one. You keep repeating that when I thought you knew. Like, how am I supposed to understand what you know and don't know? How was Brick supposed to understand that Fluorescent actually thought they were pregnant? How's that possible? How could they figure that out? How could they possibly figure that out? How am I supposed to understand what you know and don't know, or what to clarify? I told you I wasn't pregnant, which is literally the opposite of what the pictures say. So common sense would tell you the pictures aren't mine, and then I asked for a test. I told you I wasn't pregnant. Or is that because I'm pregnant? You are not. Yeah, no, please, what? Scary to say that. Look, no, yes. Is that real? Yes. Did you take two, or do you... This person is trying to say, I presume, because they said yeah to you or not, They're saying, that's me saying I'm not pregnant. But you look at the rest of it and it's very clear they were saying they fucking were. It's also very clear that Fluorescent thought they were as well. Fuck me. Common sense would tell you the pictures aren't mine and that I asked for tests, indicating I hadn't taken any and probably should because I'm incredibly worried. But yes, keep blaming me. Did you take 2 or do you only have 1? No, only 1. You said you took 1. When I see you tomorrow night, we can get 2 more and see. There was a discussion of confirmation, not of not having taken a test at all. Brick also now claims that they did take a test at that point. The accusation from Brick, it is claimed in there that Brick did take one, but for some reason sent a test that wasn't theirs. So this is a mess. This is about the Valorant individual. A week after, she lied and tries to turn the situation back on me. Sleep schedule bad again because of stuff that genuinely is important. I fixed it, had a shitty day, it's okay, this day will be better. I'm sorry, but please, if I'm a little upset or stressed in prac, I'm really sorry. Okay, so that's presumably to their teammate or something. I wasn't able to sleep or eat or function properly in scrims because it was all I could think about. Have a bad sense of humor, I'm sorry, says Brick. I mean, it's not even a humor thing. I had a bad feeling about it after. You would know of all people how hard it is to understand jokes. But it made sense for a little bit, not like sense of humor. It was like those YouTube pranks. I felt like a YouTube pranker for a second. Reverse the roles and I promise you will be... Reverse the roles, get it twisted. And I promise you'll be just as upset and just as confused and not know it's a joke. I know, I said sorry, I didn't expect you to take me serious. I wish you told me you were stressed about it. They made it pretty fucking clear, dog. Parents straight to jail. By the way, parents to jail. You released this onto the world. It's your fault. The events leading up to January 3rd, 2024. For context, January 3rd, 2024 is when the alleged sexual assault occurred. Here's Brick speaking. On December 25th, 2023, after a month of no contact, Ava drunk texted me trying to argue with me. The argument was going the same way as all the previous arguments, but when I told her I didn't care about her anymore, her response was that I would always love her. Floor says, I broke no contact on December 24th, 2023 by asking Brick to leave me alone, attaching an image of her requesting to follow my private TikTok. I would like to clarify that I drank with family, but I was not under any sort of influence, and I did not have any intentions of arguing with her. Let's see it. Leave me alone, please. First message that day. Leave me alone. From the person who's accused of, Brick! Fluorescent texted me trying to argue. The argument was stop fucking trying to get in contact with me. Come on. Leave me alone, please. Huh? Shows image. Oh, lol, I think that was... breaking no contact was a message saying, leave me alone, because she sent me a follow request on TikTok. Yeah, it's over. It's done. Not surprised that the, I don't know if Brick deleted their Twitter or whatever, or if they even had one. But the person who put up the original document we looked at, they've deleted their Twitter. Hi, oh wow, you guys are matching, sorry. She messaged me first the next day while matching profile pics with the person who dropped the original document. Okay. When you would die every time you came over in my arms. Yeah, I still feel sick all the time when I travel. Also, I'm not drunk. You've been traveling a lot. I just drank a little. Okay. I don't think the inebriation really matters here because Fluorescent wasn't saying anything that would indicate to me that they're, like... They weren't drunkenly arguing. Because they said something that you'd totally say if you weren't drunk, right? Nothing... doesn't matter. Yeah. So we're jumping back to September 3rd at the, whatever it is it Canada National Expo or something? People said it was like a big fair. On September 2nd, I found out that the pregnancy was fake. and I broke up with her. Nevertheless, we had plans for the CNE on the 3rd, both agreeing to attend. Brick wrote, keep in mind the only reason we were even going to meet at this point in time was because I didn't want our tickets to go to waste. Fluorescent bought both of the tickets for them in advance, and they both mutually decided to see each other despite being broken up. Okay. Good night, what do I do if you're not awake? Girl Fernie, are you a wackle? Ticket posted. I don't need your tickets. I know this is your last straw. It's okay. It was my last straw 10 times ago. Seriously, I've given you so many chances. You told me, Ava. You will not change. Ava, you told me I'd see you tomorrow. You're not giving me enough time. Just wait, I promise. You will not change. D blank. Ooh. Is that 4 letters? We could space it out. I imagine people know who this is. This week I'll be better today. I was Betger. You're taking something from last week and trying to leave me. Argument the night before CNE since I found out on the 2nd that she lied about being pregnant. It's fine. Have a good night. This isn't healthy. What do you mean you're not my girlfriend? I don't know how to explain it. You are so different now. I've never had the feeling where I don't feel anything but pain beside you. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to end things? No! I just want us to work things out normally. I don't want distance. You can't just take things slow during a nearly 9-month relationship. Do you want to be with me or not? Do you want to make things work? Still can't get over the pregnant thing. I'm just lost right now. I don't know. Advice! If you are a teenager... and you are sexually active, and your partner lies about getting pregnant, get the fuck away from them. Never talk to them again. That's here's Uncle Harmful's advice. If you are a sexually active teenager and a person you have slept with, one of your peers, fakes a pregnancy to fuck with you, get away from them. I would suggest if your parents are not horrible or something, if you feel you can go to your parents, tell your parents someone has tried to do this. Very horrible experience. You probably need support for that. Drop them whether it be teenage or not, but if you're an adult, up to you. Up to you if you want to make that fucking mistake. I feel that adults know that how bad that is, how severe that is, but don't have unprotected sex in the first place. Yeah, that's also good advice.
Just make her pregnant for real so she can't lie.
Also good advice for them, but having protected sex doesn't stop someone from being, obviously it's not 100% effective, and doesn't stop them from pulling that shit on you. Blah, 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 blah. From Brick. We were just sitting in my room watching a movie at my desk when she randomly tried initiating sex. I kept dodging her, but she ignored my discomfort, continuing to flirt with me, make perverted comments, all while making sexual advances. Fluorescent says, I did not make any sexual advances towards Brick, nor did we watch a movie that morning, as I was on an hour of sleep, falling asleep at around 6:50 and waking up at 8 to head to her. Does Fluorescent have fucking relevant receipts to this? I was also extremely car sick from the commute being an hour, and when I got to her house I immediately went to bed from how exhausted I was. If there are receipts from this... going to eat after we wake up and then go to CNE. Love you, see you soon, night night. That's, hold up. Oh yeah, this is still the CNE stuff. Okay. Apple Maps. 40 minutes into an Uber, en route to Brick's house, 9:12. Wait a second. Right. Spam. Said they're about an hour away, so 20 more minutes to get there. 9:30 would have been about when they arrive, yeah? Yeah, they confirm. This doesn't concretely prove. Unless Brick gave more specific times. This isn't concretely proven by those receipts, but given what we've seen of Brick so far, I think their credibility is in the fucking toilet. And what Fluorescent has shown us so far, that they're doing real well. They're doing real well. We ended up going... Receipt's not great there, though. We ended up going home after 20 minutes of walking around due to the high tension built from the events earlier. I've never been to the CNE, and we got dropped off in our Uber at an unknown lot. Brick immediately got upset with me because we were lost, and it took us around half an hour of exploring around the venue. Eventually, we found the entrance, but 20 minutes later, Brick said she wanted to go home. Ooh. Combo receipts might be good enough, depending on... Oh, you don't have any receipts for exactly like when you got there. Never mind. Eventually we found the entrance, but 20 minutes later Brick said she wanted to go home. The high tension that was present in the moment was not from the alleged advances from earlier. It stemmed from me finding out about her lying about being pregnant, which happened the day before. Yeah, Brick wasn't very forthcoming with that detail. During the Uber ride home, says Brick, I realized that the relationship was truly nearing its end, and that one of the few days I wanted to enjoy before starting school again was ruined. While all this was playing in my mind, I started crying uncontrollably in the car. During the Uber ride home, says Fluorescent, there was not any crying, but we had an argument later surrounding the whole CNE experience. Alright. Now we're on to the rape allegations. They came up briefly, then we jumped back to CNE. Now we're in the rape zone. Firstly, even though I've said it before, I want to re-preface that I did not engage in non-consensual sex with Brick. I'm going to recount the things from this day from my point of view and point out some of the inconsistencies and sort of jot things down. Anything bolded from here is once again from Brick's statement. Alright. Brick said, but despite not wanting it, I still opted to go and get it over with because I just wanted to be with her. Floor counters, I explicitly told her I didn't want to get back together and that if we saw each other, we would just have sex. The night before we met up, we were going back and forth, acting extremely sexual. Brick didn't contest this. We know this is the case from what Brick showed us. Yeah. You don't even need receipts, because we already have them. Never mind! These are the fucking God receipts. Never mind! It's so much worse. Okay. Brick already provided enough receipts to show that there was that understanding. Now we have further receipts of the alleged victim who absolutely didn't want to have sex, saying, I'll make you come lots, don't worry. Brick didn't include these messages. For some reason, OMG, OMG, please. Brick says, I need you. God, I want to kiss you so badly. I want to do everything, says Fluorescent. Please wake up early, baby, so we have time for everything. Brick says, I'll wake up early for you, help. Good. Why have we always had some sexual tension, even from the first time you were at my house? SM tension. I need you so bad. Being on top of you when we kiss, HH. Brick, why in the hell would you try this shit knowing these logs exist? Why would you try this? Why would you even fucking try? What is wrong with you? Despite not wanting it, I opted to go and get it over with, and you were saying that stuff? When I got to her house, she changed my phone password so I couldn't access it and check the location, because she didn't want me to know where she lived. Fluorescent says, I told her I wanted to change her phone password when she came over here, because I was anxious of her stalking tendencies that she has made. That's an L. If you're scared of someone stalking you and being a freak, don't invite them to your house for sex. Okay? Don't. Easy trick. Easy trick. I get that you were 15 and 16 or whatever. This is just basic intelligence, okay? She has made evident throughout both her relationship and the aftermath. Additionally, it has protected me from the continuous swatting threats and doxing from people that she is associated with. Please keep in mind this decision was completely consensual, as I was unaware of her phone password due to us being broken up for many months, and she gave me her current password to change during this time. I presume this is going to be exactly how that occurred, because of course, you could threaten someone into giving you their phone's password. I have a feeling we're going to get to see exactly how it went down, though. Oh. This is just them showing... However, because of how Brick described this, I would tend to believe Fluorescent's recounting of it, because Brick made no mention of coercion. Brick merely said, Fluorescent changed my password. Just bam, bam. No details. No, I was pressured into giving my password. Nothing like that. Which is a detail I think would be included. Brick said, the entire experience was truly painful for me. And I kept telling her it hurt. After she finished, I went to clean myself up and saw that I was bleeding. I went back into her room, too embarrassed to say anything, and we took a nap together. Floor says, this was the first of 3 times we had sex that day. For some reason, she didn't include the second time, but I'm unsure why. Brick indeed did not include the second time. There was only the first time that she said was painful and consensual, and the second time that she suggested she was pressured into. Brick never told me at any point she was in pain or uncomfortable. She was on top of me, and we could have stopped at any point. The position defense. We'll see if that's contested. We'll see if that's contested in the response. There is no blood at all because I would have noticed while/after our sex. I cleaned up all 3 times we had sex that day and we both fell asleep. I woke up to my mom calling my phone and telling me that I had to come home, says Brick. So I woke up Ava to ask if she could Uber me, to which she kept telling me she didn't want me to leave and that she wanted to have sex despite me telling her I had to go. Between this and the last statement she made, we woke up and had sex once again. We were both naked throughout the entire day. This will be of more importance later. Brick woke me up and told me it was almost time to go, and she hated how we didn't do much since most of the time was spent with us being asleep. I apologized and told her we could still have sex. She said maybe and that she was unaware of the time and went to go use the washroom to pee. Brick, you've nuked your credibility. Ava has provided receipts for that paint things very differently. I'm inclined to believe this account. Brick says, I told her I didn't want to have sex and continued to tell her no and kept resisting things, and along with not wanting it, I was still bleeding. I cannot stress enough how badly I did not want sex and just wanted to go home, and I made all of that very clear to her. Fluorescent says, she never said no at any point the 3rd time we had sex. She was also not bleeding in any way throughout any point in the day. I would have noticed either during or after sex. Nothing in any way was made clear to me. Okay, Brick says she ignored my efforts to make her stop and ended up on top of me soon after. She then kept trying to take my pants off. Why are we even getting this info? Oh, because Brick is mad and apparently wants to destroy Fluorescent's career. I would presume. It became a whole thing. Even Valorant made a statement on it. Riot made a statement on this even. This was the first time throughout the day I was on top of her, as the first 2 times we had sex, she was on top of me. As I mentioned, we were naked the entire day. Yeah, Nikolai Nielsen, I would agree. That is a massive, massive, massive L on Fluorescent's part. Don't invite her. This person is like this, and I've known it through the whole relationship. By the way, I invited them to my house to have sex. Come on. What are you doing? We were naked before the 3rd time we had sex as well. We didn't go out once throughout the day or get any food delivered, so there was never any reason to put our clothing back on. Brick said, I didn't know what to do. My phone was locked and I had no way of contacting my mom unless she called me first. I felt so trapped, but I kept refusing until she asked me if I wanted to disappoint her. Her phone was locked, but she never asked me in any way to call her mom. She was never trapped or locked in any way. My door had no locks. My PC was open all day and free for her to use, and her roommate at the time was in the basement where her room was. My roommate, not her roommate. I think I said her. I gave up on resisting her, said Brick, and let her do what she wanted. After that, she let me leave. Fluorescent contests and says, it was never in any way letting me do what I wanted. After she went to the washroom saying maybe to have sex again, I asked if she would give me oral sex since we were running late and might not have had time for sex when she got out, which she immediately agreed upon. The tension rose after around 5 minutes of me receiving it, and I asked if we should just have sex instead, which she also immediately agreed to. We finished and realized she was running late, and we got dressed and I saw her out the door. Brick said she cried the entire Uber ride back. Fluorescent says, when she was back in the Uber, she started texting me not long after, saying she was sad and missed me and how she loved me. Oh no, Brick! What are you doing? Stating she was upset with how much I was napping and how she wanted me to hold her, she texted me first a couple days later, 5th of January, with a sexual tweet/remark. Oh no. Hi, I'm sad, I miss you, says Brick. And you're just going to sleep for really long now. I'm also convinced my Uber driver is going to get me killed, so I love you. I'm about to die, says Floor. Oh wow, praying for your recovery, Queen. Are you up and alive? I'm so sad. Why'd you nap for so fucking long? I want to be held. Mad, my rapist wasn't paying me enough attention. Okay. Okay, Brick. Alright. Done. Dunyan rings. You're finished. And I just came back from across the entire world. I am tired. I didn't... Yes, this is Ava's doc, obviously. I didn't have a rest day. We just saw each other right away. I'm sorry. It's okay. Are you going to go back to sleep? I miss you. Brick claims that during the time she sent those messages, she was crying at having been raped. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Below is a summary of events because it is easier to read and is also in chronological order based on my point of view. Whatever. I understand the chronology. Roommate being home. Alright. I'm trying to stay up today and fix schedule, so I might be up early. Shrug, don't worry about it. Heard, see you soon, mate. Bro, what the fuck is your thermostat set up upstairs? I have mine at like 68, and that's at 7:38 p.m. Why is it so hot in here? Roommate appears to have been home. They were talking about temperature, so naturally. On to the claims of a... Like, Brick has been destroyed. Brick has been obliterated. Yeah. Brick has been absolutely just incinerated by this. So far, I would suggest. Now we're on to the claims that don't even matter. Emotional manipulation and emotional neglect. Partial screenshots from the suicide baiting incident. She deleted most text regarding this to seemingly cover her tracks, says Brick. Ava says, I have been in and out of therapy since I was in school and even after I dropped out. Not surprised. I want to preface this by saying I do not have any text on iMessage with Brick from before November 7th, 2023, as I fully deleted her contacts before that, not wanting any further contact. In terms of covering my tracks on iPhone, you can only unsend a message within a 2-minute window, and it would notify the other user when a chat is deleted. I've never deleted any message previously, and if I did such, Brick would have seen it. I don't know if that's true. I do not use the homophones. I have a Nord 1 Plus 2T. I have a true China virus phone. Mandated online therapy through my org. Okay. And a Google search to back it up. Okay, fair enough. Alright. Not a sponsor. Gotta say, I fucking hate the camera on this. The camera's like good quality, but you cannot turn off automatic white balance. Even in film mode, even in pro mode. You go in, you disable automatic changes to settings. There is something at fucking hardware level changing it. It's horrific. Anyway. You cannot actually stop automatic changes and tweaks. Things that should be brought to light. Okay, this is an old tweet from a private account I used from the ages of 13 to early 15. Brick shared a tweet wherein Fluorescent said, "Why isn't rape legal?" or something, if I remember correctly. It's from the ages of 13 to 15. Sexual assault and any vulgar or objectifying comments are not a joke to be taken lightly. Depends. I am truly sorry for my immature behavior and would like to state that I do not advocate nor condone these kinds of comments or behavior that are previously exhibited, and that this is not the person I have grown up to be. A 13-year-old kid saying it, who cares? Some random on the internet saying it, who cares? Your kid's teacher saying jokes like that? Get away from my kid. It's contextual. Here, yeah, it's a kid saying edgy shit. It does not matter. What is this? Private. A month after I turned 14, I had been using this account previously while I was 13. I presume this is the account the shit came from. Whatever. The, like, legalized rape tweet or whatever came from. I don't remember. I thought it would be included. Statements from 2 ex-girlfriends. Mika. Starting off with Mika, we started dating on February 22nd in 2020 and broke up sometime in late 2022. We went to school together and started dating after I turned 13. And broke up right before I turned 16. Our relationship had lasted just under 2 years. I want to own up to my being a neglectful girlfriend at the time. You're still kind of a kid. You're barely an adult at this point. You were a fucking kid, dog. You were a kid. I want to own up to my being a neglectful girlfriend at the time. I would like to apologize because I was both young and inexperienced, this being my first serious and long-term relationship. It was not a serious relationship. Chill. That ex coming out to say you're a fucking monster for how you behaved in a relationship at 13? Emotional neglect in a relationship when you're 13? Nah, Fluorescent. Fuck that person. Fuck that person. When COVID-19 started, I isolated myself and played video games all day due to the fact that I was not happy with my life and my family situation and was afraid that I would take this anger and toxicity out on her. My first sexual experience was with her, and I didn't know that she was uncomfortable with the sex at the time. Since then, I've apologized to her in 2023 over text, and many friends from school are also aware that I regret neglecting her and treating her wrong. I still want to take full blame for our relationship going downhill and would like to publicly apologize to her again. Jesus. To my second ex, who I'll keep anon out of respect to her privacy. I was in a relationship with my second ex. You don't think kids should be having sex? I would tend to agree. We're talking about a situation where it's already happened, though. And one of the people who was fucking 13, now an adult, I believe, is being characterized as now a monster because they were emotionally neglectful at 13 years old. Fuck off. I was in a relationship with my second ex for around 5 months, spanning from March 2024 to August 2024. Prior to that, we had been flirting on and off since December 2023, and I would like to address the additional information included in the initial doc. The real issue when they're talking about that stuff, when they were fucking kids, is the parents and the guardians. The people who are tasked with looking after them. If shit happened then, are primarily at fault, I guess is my point. And it doesn't necessarily, especially if we're going to talk about emotional neglect coming from a 13-year-old, I don't think that reflects on the person as an adult, inherently. My friend told me she freaked out when our other friend found out we dated even after she broke up with me. Throughout 2024, I was extremely paranoid all the time because I was getting constant harassment surrounding getting doxxed, dead-named, and threats to swap me. I was not insecure about our relationship nor ashamed of it. All of our mutual friends were aware of our relationship, but I did not want my association or connection to Brick to get her involved in these same things I was facing.
Polly McCoy fed the streamer $2 Superberry. The parents failed. Keep an eye on your children.
Yeah. My second ex and I would always playfully joke about cheating. We would call each other names and be rude/vulgar with each other all the time for the sake of it. I thought that both of us were okay with it, and we never had any discussion or any sort of problem surrounding it. For example, whenever I joked about cheating, she would play along, add into it, and think it was funny, or would bring it up herself. I never saw any signs of discomfort or distress, which I'm sorry for not noticing. Oh my god, they're all retarded. If these are receipts... I'm gonna cheat on you again. No, I'm definitely cheating on you. You finally stopped cheating on me. Cheat on me! Sad face. I'm gonna cheat on you. You cheat on me. Is this cheating? Fucking cheater. Like, what if you just cheat on me? Not because cheating is bad or anything, right? Is it because I said I'd cheat with net spend? But you cheat on me for cemetery? Okay. Just a bunch of them doing it back and forth. Why would you come at this person when you know the receipts they have? What are you fucking doing? What are you doing? Multiple people coming at Fluorescent when they know Fluorescent has these receipts. Jealousy. My second ex was the first girlfriend I'd had since Brick. And honestly, I do not think I was ready to get into a new relationship at the time. I still had the same insecurities and toxic tendencies stemming from my relationship with Brick. I should have to say, I was constantly worried and jealous and let my negative thoughts get the best of me, which resulted in me never being willing to communicate. I'm so excited for the next doc we're going to look at. The accusers who've been responded to in this document further responded themselves. I can't wait to see what they fucking try to do. To defend themselves from this. Oh, blah, 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 apologize, blah, blah, blah. And then they deleted their account, by the way. Breaking up after not seeing her during August. We were e-dating through our relationship, never met in person, and we're dating for 5 months. I knew that in August it would be our only real chance to meet for a long time to come, as I was extremely busy with my GC schedule at the time. I had other events to prepare for. After realizing that we would not have the chance to meet due to plans not being concrete, I was unsure of risking visiting an unfamiliar city just to see her for 2 days unconfirmed. I decided to break things off with her, especially being unsure about the next couple of months, where I would be, ending up going to Europe for 2025. Alright, whatever. And then acting nicer after sending her body, the extra attention was reciprocated between both of us, with both of us sending photos back and forth. I did not know she felt uneasy or uncomfortable towards the shift in attitude. I just wanted to offer the same energy. So the claim is I was matching the energy. But that's not even... The accusation is this guy I was talking to who was like trying really hard to court me started trying less hard after I showed my body or whatever. It's not great. It's not the nicest way to conduct yourself, but it's also not necessarily to warn the fucking world about that. That's not a threat. That's just not an ideal relationship situation. What fucking... Brick. From here on, I'm done responding and quoting Brick's statements, and anything below here are things that I have personally experienced within our relationship. I'm willing to admit my faults towards contributing to the toxicity throughout our relationship, but I want to express how Brick's actions towards me and her self-image of a powerless victim is untrue. Doesn't it? You nuked Brick. You nuked Brick. You slew. Yas Queen, you slew. In 2024, I was getting harassed and threatened by both Brick and her friends, which deeply affected my daily life because I was ridden with anxiety and paranoia. Worried that at any given point my personal info would be spread on the internet. Harassment. After our relationship, counterclaims. Here we go, it's just like Judge Judy. It's just like Judge Judy. After our relationship was completely over, Brick would constantly spam message me on fake phone numbers over email. Oh! Actual harassment. Very rare to see. Very rare to see. People call, like, someone online saying, this person is a dickhead harassment. They call making a video talking about them harassment. They call all sorts of things harassment. This... bypassing people's methods of stopping you from directly contacting them, trying to directly contact them by any means possible, pestering them when they've made it clear they do not want contact. This is, if real, actual harassment. Let's go. This became a serious problem as I had to ask and message her mom multiple times for Brick to leave me alone. In one instance, she would go out of her way to ask a friend about me and what I was doing every day to the point of them being sick. Excuse me? Get your daughter to leave me alone, please. She's been harassing me with emails since I have her blocked. Yeah, bypassing blocks even. Very clear cut. Absolutely is aware that this person doesn't want contact. Continues to try to directly contact them and pester them. Yeah. One of the very, 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 very few cases of actual harassment I've ever seen in any of these documents. This is what it is. She created new accounts and begs for me to date her, and I keep telling her no. Get her to leave me alone, please. I'm working, and every minute I have to deal with her, even though we aren't together. Got a message back. Oh, screen cap of messages being sent to them. 5:56, 6:02, 6:05. Your daughter is insane. Please get her to stop harassing me. 6 a.m. and she's making new numbers to try to message me. She's adding me on video games and harassing me over and over. Get her to leave me alone, please. I'm begging. She needs serious mental health. Oh, so the please seek mental help was a reply back, but I presume the first two were from her. Okay. All right, just more talking about it. That's the friend talking about being pestered. Sorry I got too ahead of myself. I really miss you is all. My Killjoy's name was like Call Me or something, and it made me think of you. I'm sorry, really, and you DMing me, and even if you were being mean, made me happy because I've missed you a lot. I'm so sorry. I'm such a stupid girl. I made you hate me. 9:14, 9:15, 9:15. Please go die, please. No one but me loved you, you actual idiot. Please die. I want to hug you again so badly. I want to kill you, Ava. Fucky ho you. Are these with different accounts as well to bypass blocks? Yeah, okay. Real harassment. Let's go. Authentic in the wild. Never fucking before featured on this channel. Incredible. I feel. Whew. Deleting messages. In her statement, Brick claims that I was deleting messages to cover my tracks. iMessage doesn't allow messages to be deleted past 2 minutes. This is indeed.
69 Shades fed the streamer a $5 Superberry. This is your brain on Valorant.
True. Or at least if you play Killjoy. Don't mention that I played Killjoy. Alright? I also played the Hispanic MILF. So it cancels out. I don't remember her name. In her statement, Brick claims that I was deleting messages. Blah, blah, blah. I was going... Reyna! I played Killjoy and Reyna. I was going through some things and found her deleting multiple messages, telling me she wants me to die on an alternate Discord account of hers. Please keep in mind the dates of these messages to confirm they're from the same conversation. Sounds so corny. Wait, what is this? Please die, blah, 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 whatever. I'm blocking you, bye-bye, die, don't contact me ever. Clear statement that they don't want contact. Leave me alone. I'm blocking you, bye-bye. Oh, and just showing that it's different usernames, whatever. Breaking contact. Alright. Well, the pro Valorant player is the sane one. Maybe if you're pro, you're not crazy. Maybe it's only the pros who aren't crazy. Do you remember that time? I was playing Valorant and there was a 26-year-old hitting on like a 14-year-old something on my team, and I couldn't do anything because my mic worked, but it was only coming through to the stream. I couldn't use it in the game. Brick claims that I broke contact on December 25th, 2023. But I showed proof that I only messaged her to leave me alone after she sent me a follow request on my private account. Brick once again broke contact April 12th, 2024, asking me, presumably broke no contact, asked me to come over because she was home alone and missing me. The same thing happened on May 28th, 2024. Brick asked me to come over to help her with a game she was having trouble with. Both times I refused to go see her. Can you come over? Do I know you? What do you think? You don't have to mean a reply if you don't want to. Oh, so just fucking doing the fucking burner account shit. The contact. Are you okay? I still worry about you. Please leave me alone. There isn't anything between us. Leave me alone. Alright. Didn't end up coming over and reassured her that things between us were over, and in my absence, Brick decided to invite Carrie. This Carrie person is who dropped the first accusation document. She proceeds to claim that it was a horrible idea due to Carrie constantly forcing herself onto Brick. Oh my god. Okay, I'm glad I... Brick is accusing everyone! Even the person who took Brick's side, dropped the accusation for them, was being accused by Brick of being a rapist. Holy shit. I can't... We gotta see the receipts, though. We gotta see the receipts. She proceeds to claim that it was a horrible idea due to Carrie constantly forcing herself onto Brick, trying to kiss her and will pull Brick on top of her while Brick was under the influence. Brick also claims Carrie was staring at her underwear the whole time and was scared that Carrie was going to kill her. Brick is finished forever. Get off the internet. Apparently they have, though. But she does not encourage good things out of me. This is Brick talking about Carrie. When I saw her, I got really drunk and I cried the whole time, and she kept trying to kiss me and kept pulling me on top of her, and I was just sobbing. Or like in person, yes, I got really fucked up and just cried, and while I was crying, she kept trying to make moves on me. And I mauled every time I remember it. I'm sorry, that sounds horrible. The one time I ever was in a house alone with Carrie, I was genuinely so scared. They both agreed. Lol, I was repeatedly flashing her on accident and she didn't even tell me. Like, yeah, man. I remember my mom was sleeping in the room next to us. Look at my panties, please. And that's awesome, please. And I was genuinely so scared every time Carrie left the room because I thought she would, like, murder my mom or something. I love your mom. I hope she never gets hurt. Carrie stood up for you and believed your shit. And you had been accusing Carrie of stuff, of being a creep, and shit-talking Carrie with the person they helped you accuse. This is so good. I thought Carrie was gonna kill me. Alright. Alright. Doxing/swatting threats. My 2024 was full of constant paranoia due to the doxing and swatting threats I was receiving from Brick, Carrie, and other people associated with them. Gonna need to see receipts from this. I would not be shocked, but I need receipts, and it seems like there may well be. This was going on while I was dating the anonymous ex mentioned before in the statements. I would receive threatening messages by Brick herself over Instagram, while also receiving the same over iMessage by either Brick, Carrie, or someone associated with them both, as those two are the only people who knew my dead name. Hello, Ava. Who this? Better be Avery. Wrong name, sorry. Ooh, and then the government name or original name. Who's this? Yo, answer. Don't tell me what to do. Hope you get cancelled for how awful you are. Worst threatening message of all time. Only Brick and Carrie would know. I would tend to believe it is them. It's not airtight that it's them. But I agree it is highly, highly likely to be them. The leaking of my phone number and private Discord servers went on through an accomplice of both Brick and Carrie, as well as the threats to swat me. The week leading up to this, Brick claimed she was in the hospital. When she got out, I asked for any sort of proof, whether through the hospital emailing or by any sort of release papers. She then threatened me by telling me I would get papers, but not from the hospital, and the swatting threats came the next day from an accomplice. Ooh. I'll get you papers. You want a note this time too? Brick! Brick, if you're going to anonymously threaten people, don't use your idiosyncratic style of capitalizing indefinite articles in your anonymous threat. Don't do the capital A thing that you do regularly. That's kind of uncommon. Lowercase, but then capitalizing A in the middle of a sentence? Come on, Brick. Come on. You're actually so uncomfortable to talk to. Anything from the hospital is fine, preferably both. Lamau, not what I meant. What do you mean? You'll see. Good night. Do you guys want a T1 player's phone number? I need you to harass them. Bro. I already swatted him or her. Fuck knows what's the number. 1 sec, it's Floor. I'm reporting you to the FBI. Watch out, buddy. No, you're not. No way you gave Floor's number. Lol. Misaka. Tsukasa. Ngasta, Shivasta, Kavasta. Alright. And then we have... Wait a second. Yeah, that's what we just looked at. Then we have... Carrie. With ongoing screenshots of my past behavior getting released, I felt like it was necessary to talk about Carrie's personal involvement in all aspects. She actively encouraged my behavior when I was 14 or 15 towards Kaufi. How old is Carrie? Wait a second. Have we had Carrie's age? Holy fuck, imagine if Carrie's like significantly older. Make a lot more sense. Carrie has deleted their Twitter and tried to cover up, tried to get rid of their response to this, by the way. And also actively aided in Brick's self-destructive behavior and self-harm by both encouraging it and funding it. Excuse me. Not only was she a terrible influence online, she has threatened me personally in real life by holding a knife to my throat the one and only time I've been to her house / alone with her. What? I thought you were just talking about her being creepy. She spends an absurd amount of money on me to get me to forgive her. Every time she fucks me over, she also funded my relapsing. Thanks, man. Really good friend. How does that work? She bought me razors because I skittered out and asked. Now, this is a claim from Brick. I don't necessarily believe this claim because it's coming from fucking Brick. Okay? I need... Because this claim is from Brick, I need receipts to believe this was real. It's interesting that Brick would claim this. I don't necessarily believe it, though. And I proceeded to throw up and cry. I'd call with her because I hit beans and I was losing it. And she only stopped encouraging my self-harm after. Our friend said something about it and how it was worrying and how I need to stop. But she does not encourage good things out of me when I saw her. So that's what leads into this. Okay. Keeps complaining to me, crying in my DMs. She's such an awful person. Every time I begin talking to her, she just insults me, degrades me constantly, and belittles me. Don't even feel like a human around her, and she keeps talking badly about everyone, or I'll feel bad for her. And queue with her, as in a game. Because she begs, and she will constantly tell me to shut up and insult me. Yup, sounds like Carrie. It hurts, dude. I don't know, I don't even care about the friendship, and yet I still put in more effort. Tell me why I DM her to ask if she's okay after she schizzos out in my ranked game, and she just, okay. What is this? This is Carrie talking to fucking Brick? Oh shit, so there is a receipt. Not of the buying razors, but of Carrie talking to Brick. He doesn't love you. Is that talking about Floor, perhaps? Lol, so hateful. If this makes you feel better. Yeah, you chose wrong. Someone who legit lied to you about everything, lol. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Are you literally brain dead? See ya. Kill yourself. No one likes you. What a nest of trash. Insane. Are these public figures or something? Fluorescent's a professional Valorant player. That Riot made a statement about. If you haven't figured that out, I don't know, brother. I can't spoon feed you more. What is this one? Do you have anything against Kerry? I literally don't know what to do. She will not leave me alone, and I'm scared. I keep getting sponsorship emails. Do you have anything against Kerry? I literally don't know what to do. She will not leave me alone, and I'm scared. Like, genuinely messaging me on everything possible, begging and pleading. I'm so stressed out. Okay. Alright. Like, genuinely, I don't fucking know what to do. I'm so scared she will not leave me alone. I don't know. She leaves me alone because she sees no interest in me in any way. She is genuinely stalking me, messaging me, blah, 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 blah. You alone, lose my fucking mind over you. Can you just trust me? No, I can't. Good night. Goodbye. I will stop. No, wait, please. D. Dude, please. I'll be fine tomorrow and it will carry on. I was upset over blank and it carried into today. Just need a day to reset. It's fine. I've been trying, blah, 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 blah. So it's a tangled web. Oh, this will be the encouragement of the Kaufy stuff? Of the Kaufy stuff or whatever? Like, okay, man. Hope she kills you. Same. Teach Kaufy how to grow. For business inquiries about coffee, please contact Carrie Kitten at protonmail.com through PayPal notes. Dude, I'm serious. I sent 100 already. How's the e-sex not happening? I hope Kaufy deprives you of anything sexual for another 3 months. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh. What's the blurred D word? The blurred D word is the accuser's name. The accuser's name. That's Brick's name. Knife to my throat, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the kitty person seems like a freak, but I feel we were already aware of this. Additional comments. I just wanted to address some additional rumors and comments that have been floating around recently throughout social media. Competing. I did not take my break from competitive Valorant due to any blackmailing, recent allegations, or due to worries of my past resurfacing. All of the reasons I stated in my original statement about taking a break are true. Pedophilia. Can't be a stream without this coming up. I cannot believe I have to address this, but I've been seeing rumors that I'm a pedophile. I want to make it clear that me and Brick, or any other relationship I've been in, were within a 1-year gap at most. They were a few months different in age. I believe it's started prior to what's his face? Fucking Fluorescent being an adult. It's like one of those fucking Romeo and Juliet law sort of situations. Very clearly, I would suggest. Just a few months apart. Brick and the Anonymous X are both 10 months younger than me. Mika is 1 year older than me. In-game screenshots. There's been a screenshot that has surfaced where somebody with the in-game name Fluorescent was spamming many derogatory, insulting terms. I admit, I am a gamer! I would like to say that the person involved in the screenshots is not me, and I do not condone this behavior. Presumably, if it were them, they get nuked. They get fucking slapped by Riot, right? Reached out to the original people that posted the screenshot, and they have verified that it is not me. Whatever. I don't care if you did. Sorry for taking so long to create this response. I've lost what little motivation I already had even before the first doc came out. Thank you to all of the people who checked in on me and have waited for me to make a statement of my own. Finally, I would like to apologize. I'm not looking for forgiveness from anyone. Stop. Yeah, you shouldn't be. I just wanted to let it be known that I understand that what I've done in the past was wrong. Especially in the way I've treated people I've been in relationships with. I have a long road ahead of me, and I'll be taking my self-improvement and rehabilitation seriously. Never realized that the way I treated certain people was so horrible. I'm going to need time to unlearn the behavior I've shown in the past and improve as a person before I can think of next steps in my life. All right. Kerry and Brick responded to this for some fucking reason. God knows why. God knows why they thought that would work. They say, I would like to start off this document by stating that it's extremely easy to paint a narrative whilst knowing your accuser doesn't have full evidence of something nearly impossible to prove. You think you have some... You think you have some old Nokia phones in storage if you can dig up my text from high school that could provide weeks of content here. You'd have to have done something notable in your life to make it relevant to the stream, though, and I'm not sure that's the case. I would like to start off this document by stating that it's extremely easy to paint a narrative whilst knowing your accuser doesn't have full evidence of something nearly impossible to prove. I also would like for it to be known that everything will be written by me primarily, and that Brick has entrusted me with responding on her behalf. Given what was fucking dropped, stating that she wants to focus on getting better and finishing school. Me and Brick have spoken directly about all of this, and I'll be using her exact words to speak on the matter. Directly quoting her. I'll be addressing everything made in response to Brick first, then everything made in response to me after. For the sake of making things easier, I will take direct screenshot segments from Ava's response. Did not make any sexual advances towards Brick. Right. Okay. This would be the easiest one to respond to. Because this is not airtight. Like we noted, this ain't airtight. Brick wants me to clear up what actually happened. Is that a bit? Thank you, Gamer Legend Ben! Indeed. Not quite at this point, but it seems that after people reacted to this, yes. Big pussy disease. As featured in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Coronal non-subject. It's like Canada's version of a state fair, apparently. I don't know. Brick wants me to clear up what actually happened. They had been watching John Wick 4 together and eating Tim Hortons, to which Ava randomly started making cum. They had been watching John Wick 4 together and eating Tim Hortons, to which Ava randomly started making cum jokes about Brick's muffin, which led to Ava asking Brick to have sex with her, even though Brick had been visibly taken aback. All right. There's this huge chunk. Hang on, I just gonna ignore. What is this? Big chunk talking about the sex being consensual, talking about Brick being on top, so on and so forth. And now we have the no contact break section, and that's what's being responded to. Okay. Yes, Brick did send a follow request on TikTok on accident. It was an accident. Brick, who had consistently been trying to bypass blocks and constantly pester Fluorescent, the TikTok request was an oopsie. She truly had no clue and was more than likely doing what most people do and just stalking their... and just stalking their ex. Oh man. But I do find it extremely weird leaving out all the emails that you exchanged with each other where you were obviously stated you were drinking and seemingly acted drunk. Oh, okay. I don't quite understand the point trying to be made here when you're leaving out very important context as to how the messages even got to Discord. Okay, let's see what we got. Ooh. What the fuck? Yes, I hate you because you're a whore. You're the biggest hoe and attention whore I know. Shut up, dumbass. You wait for me like an idiot because you are a fucking idiot. Let what rest you act like I care about you or want you, stupid bitch. And I'll do it again more on you care. Sorry, I'm drinking. I'm fine. Don't tell me to make smart decisions when you fucked everything up. You don't see the impact it had on me either. You know I know best. Okay. Ava says, I know deep down you'll always love me. I don't show I'm hurt by being sad. I'm an angry person and always have been. Sorry if you don't see it fully, but you hurt me really badly. I didn't want to hurt you, and I don't want you to be sad, and I don't know what to do. You make my head hurt so fucking badly, and to say I'll always love you is just so fucking unfair because I don't want to be in this position. I'm sorry. Is it not true that you'll always love me? Okay. This is so sinister, I hate every part of this. I don't want you to be mean to me or hate me, I don't know anymore. It is true, I don't want to love you anymore. I want to get over it because you just hate me forever. You'll never comfort me, and it makes me want to die. I'm sorry. Add me on Discord real quick. That is a solicitation of contact. Contact. Yeah. Okay. In that instance, there is something there regarding whether a particular instance is harassment or not. However, that doesn't deal with all the other instances that were shown. January 3rd allegations. Okay. Back to the raping time. Excuse me. I did not engage in non-consensual sex, blah, 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 blah. Brick already stated and provided the text where she agreed to have consensual sex. There is no point in bringing up any of this. I think there is, brother. I think there fucking is. Yes, there is! Because the characterization of it is very different to how it looks when you have further context. Brick characterized it as being pressed to have sex when they didn't really want to, and they made it clear that they were trying to get it over with. Fucking Fluorescent shares a cap of Brick saying, "I'm gonna make you come so good," which changes it a little bit. Especially given that these are very sexual, intimate messages that add nothing to what was stated by Brick. They totally recharacterize the situation, actually. Yes, guys, they sexted before they met. I don't know what else to add here. Horrible. Here's the statement about fear of being swatted, doxed, etc., etc. I have never condoned any swatting or doxing and was not made aware of it until recently. This all came as a surprise to me, and I've repeatedly told Floor that I care about her and do not want her to be in harm's way. To call me a stalker when we were in a mutually obsessive and destructive relationship is absurd when she would depict similar tendencies as me, quite literally where I learned it all from. I was groomed into stalking. She knew my phone password. She literally snatched my phone from my hands and guessed it and joked about it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Do not believe it. You would have absolutely said, I was in the wrong for letting her take my phone and change it in the first place, but was I to know what would happen later on in the evening? I never once said she did it without my permission. But now you are. If it was snatched from you, that's not with your permission. You're trying to have your cake and eat it. You're trying to have your cake and eat it now. I never once said she did it without my permission, even though I didn't happily hand over my phone to get it changed, and I would constantly mention being annoyed by having no access to anything. I only mentioned this key point to paint the picture that I was put in an awful position by her. But if you agreed to it, you weren't put in the position. You're trying to simultaneously say it was fucking snatched and you were put in a position, and it was done with your permission. You can't. Direct statements from Brick herself. And to attest to her statements, neither of us knew about any doxing, nor were we ever involved in anything of the sort, and then only months later did either of us ever find out about any of it. She also stated multiple times, to me and others, that she never gave Ava her phone password, and that Ava had guessed it due to it never changing. A one-shot password guess. Come on. Come on. Hey Cameron, what's up? One shot password guess. Was never furnished with the password. Okay. By this point in time, Ava had used Brick's phone hundreds of times, so it wasn't hard to guess a never-changing password. So it wasn't a guess. Why did you call it a guess? Is the story that it was guessed, or that Ava had been given the password hundreds of times, so knew it, and just put in the one they knew it had been previously? This is bizarre. Right. This is the comment on the alleged sexual assault itself. What is this? Brick didn't state anything about having sex 3 times, because the first time they had sex, it was 2 rounds. Sex maths, which was consensual, but the later sex was not. Okay. Ava ignored Brick stating that she was in a pain, and there is certainly no way that Ava would have noticed that Brick was bleeding, because it was only after they had finished that Brick noticed she was bleeding in the washroom. Additionally, Brick and Ava had been clothed after having sex for the first time and not naked all day like Ava claims. It would make no sense for Brick to be naked all day, considering she was bleeding. It's contested that she was bleeding. The naked all day claim is against it, and states that her underwear were covered in blood, and every time she went to the washroom, there was blood. This is a direct statement. I woke her up to ask for an Uber home, and she kept groaning and telling me she wanted me to stay, etc. Obviously, I reciprocated because I loved her, and I wanted to see her again. Come on. I said that in previous images before too, and even in the original doc when I said we could see each other another time. When I said I hated how we didn't have time to do much, that does not entail I wanted to have sex. In the messages with her before we met, I told her I wanted to speak and catch up, but she just perceived me saying I wanted to do more stuff with her as an invitation for sex. Here is why those earlier messages that they claim don't matter. The messages before you met, you said you wanted to make Ava come real good and lots. That's why cutting that out matters, because you're trying to use the absence of that here. The highlighted text reiterates that Brick was upset because they hadn't done much all day, and all she wanted was to be held and feel loved by Ava, therefore supporting the claim made in the previous doc. Brick also did the sexual things portrayed because Ava wouldn't give her attention when Brick was just looking for love from her. Does that include the third time? Brick's statement in response to the final paragraph of the statement above. Told her I didn't want to have sex. Okay. This is the denial of the claims of no, blah, 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 blah. Right. It's uncomfortable to go into detail about these sorts of things, but as Flora has stated multiple times in my own personal screenshot, she claims she doesn't remember anything. So here is what happened. Ooh, hold up. Yes, you might have something here. Hang on. I need the fluorescent accusation. But it's fucking... Where do I get it now? Where the fuck do I get it? Because the Twitter, the Carrie account is gone. Oh. Fuck. History, maybe. What if I do doc? Here we go. I have it. Control F. Let me scroll for links. There's that. Scroll. Looking for the denial. There's that. I want to see exactly what was said. Screenshots from when I tried to confront. Right. As Flora has stated multiple times in my own personal screenshots, she claims she doesn't remember anything. The quote is, doesn't remember anything. Alright. Here we go. I don't recall that happening. I'm sorry. Denial of the account of Brick. I don't know how else to tell you. I was barely awake the whole time you were over. Does that justify it? I just know we had sex a couple times, then you left, and that's the last time I saw you. Well, I just don't know if this even happened. It doesn't justify what's said in the images, though. We did stuff we both liked, and I always thought of stuff you'd like or want to try, or what you needed. I tried to feed you every day and gave you the best treatment I could, like going home every day, all sorts of gifts, and we went out shopping to concerts. Telling you for 30 minutes, blah, blah, blah. Really tried. Sorry, it didn't work out. Won't be in Toronto until the end of. Won't be in Toronto. I don't want to discredit you or make you feel ashamed or wrong, but what we remember happening is completely different. Already told you how. Don't want to put you down because you're already not doing well, and I do feel horrible for you the way you are right now and what you're personally going through, but what you're telling me isn't what I believe happened. This is a lie. This is a lie. Flora didn't say, I don't remember anything. No. Flora said, I don't remember it that way. That's not how I remember it. I don't remember any of the things you're claiming. So here's what happened. The first time we had sex was 2 rounds. Flora says that the only time she was on top of me the entire time we had sex was before I left, which isn't true. Flora said the only time wasn't. Not was. I'm not even sure why this is being brought to light. She was on top of me when I was telling her it hurt. If she wasn't the one on top, why would I be vocalizing my discomfort instead of just immediately stopping? Do you understand that detail is contested? I was in a situation where my phone password was changed. I was in a foreign place and being repeatedly begged for sex. This all occurred with someone I trusted, and I thought she would respect my wishes when I kept expressing discomfort, pushing her hands off of me, and telling her I had to go home. I was mistaken for not being direct about the bleeding. I was mistaken for not being direct about the bleeding, but it was humiliating. In Flora's response, she says that her room had no locks, her PC was open all day and free for me to use, and that I could have just talked to her roommate. I didn't know the layout of this place. I wasn't just going to get up and run out. How big is this house? How big is this apartment? There was no direct violence, only pinning and there was no direct violence, only pinning and groping. If it's not consensual, that is violent behavior. I don't know if I'm flawed for expecting clear communication to be enough to get her to stop. I had no idea where her PC was, and once again, I don't think she would have just let me get on her PC and use it, when the whole reason she wanted to see me was to have sex in the first place, and she was also afraid of stalking, so why would she just give me access to something like her PC? That makes some kind of sense. Right. Statement from Brick. I directly told Flora I had to go right when my mom called. My mom was incredibly upset with me staying this late with someone she did not trust. She did not show me around her place. She took me directly all the way upstairs and then into her room without saying a single verbal word to me. There was blood. I saw it after we had sex and I had to clean myself up the first time. There was blood on my panties. Flora repeatedly told me she didn't remember what happened when I brought up the events of that day to her. The screenshots to back this up, unless they're different screenshots. No. Flora does not say, I don't remember anything that happened. Flora says, I don't remember the shit you're saying happened. Very, very, very different. And this is a similar trick that Brick tried to play directly on Flora regarding the pregnancy. I noticed there's no subsection of this document called the fake pregnancy. I didn't leave out the fact we had sex second time that day. We had 2 rounds of sex within the same small time frame before we went to sleep. The first time I was on top of her and the second time she was on top of me, which is the same time I started repeatedly telling her it hurt. Ooh. No oral sex ever happened, nor did it ever lead to us having sex. I didn't give Flora my password. She took my phone and accurately guessed it because she knew it from our relationship 5 months prior. Why the fuck would you have a huge section where you're like, she guessed it. Then you explain, and now you state it clearly here. Just say, like, I didn't give Flora my password. It was already known because I hadn't changed it from the last time I said. Simple. Clearing up what Brick meant by deleting messages. Brick never claimed that Ava deleted messages from her side. She was getting at the fact that Ava had deleted messages directly from her phone before. Okay, I guess. Oh no. Here we go. Defense against harassment claims. All right. To say that I was a stalker is a stretch. I had an infatuation and attachment like most people do with their ex/first partner. I chose to leave this out of the initial document because I didn't find it necessary, but Flora is now choosing to paint a picture that is not entirely true. The back and forth emails were entirely entertained by her and even sometimes started by her. Right, but there were also texts to get around blocks. You were using burner accounts. We've seen that. The instance with the TikTok, it does appear that after that you had emails and Discord contact was solicited. That doesn't mean you have an open door forever. All this dates back to decently early in our relationship where Flora would constantly message me on different platforms despite me begging her to leave me alone. Sounds familiar, right? That doesn't mean you didn't also do it. Post-breakup, she would randomly message me stuff like hey and wave and only stopped once I confronted her on how she only messaged me when she wanted sexual favors and that I was no longer interested. Sure. Fluorescent stopped when she made it clear you don't want it anymore. Yes, that's how it works. I do admit that messaging Flora repeatedly was a mistake and immature, and I can see why that would cause her stress, but in the moment I was prioritizing my own impulses and feelings. Because I thought it was a normal boundary within our established relationship. This was my first relationship, first breakup, and I was freshly 16. Flora's only 10 months older than you. This is PvP between people of similar age. Screenshots to back this up being entirely mutual. That's going to be hard. Please join the Life 360 back. I've been watching you all day crying. Please let me know. See you again, my love. May 2023. Interesting. Actually, October 2023. Okay. Sex Freakman. In the initial document, Brick claims she took a pregnancy test, it was positive, and then she sent a picture of a pregnancy test that wasn't hers to test Fluorescent. Very, 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 very strange. Very strange. I know the Daniel was okay. What is the time period? Let's check. Because, all right. Bam. Ooh, October 2nd, 2023. Hold on. Hold up. Okay, so here's Ava sending angry messages back. Do we have any hold on. October 2nd is 6:25. Here's October 2nd saying, please get your daughter to leave me alone. This is a discussion later on October 2nd. I'm going to unblock on Discord only for blank purposes. Stop messaging me, have a good night, Ava. And then Brick turns it around on them. Okay, there is something questionable going on October 2nd. We have October 28th. We have phone messages. And then we have after October. Ava not being no contact. Being angry, certainly not friendly, but is. Ava, on November 7th, I called your main number to try and tell you, but you didn't answer. I called you. Alright. Harassment claims countered. I think these receipts counter Fluorescent's presentation of the harassment claims. I think that's countered. I'm surprised. Who knew? Who knew the Tranoid Valorant professional would also be a bit slippery, bit sneaky? In one instance, she would go out of her way to ask a friend about me and what I was doing every day, to the point of them being sick. Additional context from a aforementioned friend. I was Ava's friend throughout August-December 2023 and am off and on friends with Brick from October 2023 to current time. During this time, I had willingly put myself in an uncomfortable situation befriending both of them. Right. Well, there isn't anything inherently wrong with that. I will admit that I put myself between them and was relaying information about both of them to each other. That being said, I wanted to clarify some things that have been put in Ava's document regarding a couple messages I said. Okay. Alright. The whole feud between Brick and I, originally when Ava mentioned she was not feeling the best because of an argument she had with Brick prior. As a friend, I offered to talk to her and keep her company until she felt better. Ava and I ended up playing Valorant and Roblox! It's over. It's done. This shouldn't have deleted your account. Caught playing fucking Roblox. I was under the assumption that Brick knew we were playing games together, but I was sorely mistaken. Brick had a very normal reaction finding out Ava was playing games with another woman. However, I was very confused, and at the time I thought Brick's reaction was uncalled for, especially considering I'm a lot older than both of them. I was in a serious relationship of my own at the... A lot older? So you're a fucking weirdo. Alright. Ava had constantly brought up times that Brick hated me. The friend who was being used as evidence has popped out to say, hey, yeah, I was playing Roblox with these kids. And talking about their sex life with them. Okay. That's an angle I was not expecting. That's an angle I wasn't fucking expecting. Oh. Brick and I had a very long conversation. Hang on, wait. Blah, blah. Ava had constantly brought up times that Brick hated me and would constantly tell me about the awful things Brick was allegedly saying about me, most of the time with zero context. I'd also like to mention that before I had met Brick, Ava had made it impossible for Brick and I to befriend each other. When I had my first encounter with Brick, it was at the beginning of October, around the time when she and Ava broke up for good. Brick became extremely vulnerable and was going through a lot of hardship, which is understandable, yada 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 yada. My involvement did become bigger than I intended it to be and got very overwhelming. Alright. Thanks for talking to me. I was going insane. Of course, I think we had very different views on one another before last night, and talking really helped solidify things. So this person got bricked up. Now I know you don't hate me. Definitely not. Things just sounded like you hated me, of course. It was very confusing. I understand. I never hated you because I was like, okay, I didn't expect this angle. I was like, this is a minor. Like, why would I form a negative opinion on a kid? Says the person with that avatar who's now talking about playing Roblox with minors. I feel like there's an... I feel like there's an angle to this story that's not being explored. Trying to avoid conflict. You're talking to... This individual who claims to be much older than them is talking to them by saying, like if you tell her we're talking right now, she might get hella upset. Fuck me. I genuinely think you seem really cool. I'm just scared, lol. Like, I don't think it'd be a good thing to mention you talk to me. Yeah, maybe not a good time at all. Luckily, I'm not talking to her. And even if she gets upset, she keeps saying we are not GFs, so she doesn't care what I do. Until she cools down and takes time for herself, I think it may be best to just avoid conversations that can start conflicts, even if that means basic conversation. No. You too. After this, I would consistently text Brick about Ava, giving her advice as well as try to give her the closure she wanted regarding her relationship. Alright. I know that I probably should have stopped my involvement regarding their relationship here, but at that moment, I wanted everyone to be friends and to be happy. The older person is a different party. The older person is the friend Ava claims was being pestered by Brick. Brick was also in a very emotional state and was extremely vulnerable during this time. Didn't want to end my friendship with her, blah, blah. Yeah. On October 6th, 2023, Brick decided to visit Palestine. Brick had messaged Ava and I had gotten in the middle of it. They were messaging back and forth. I'm not going into detail as this is a conversation between the two of them that should not be exposed, and at some point I began to feel sick and threw up. As I was trying to aid Brick and calm her down at the same time as messaging Ava, I felt sick due to the immense anxiety. You threw up? Yeah, and this... I figured this would be like another person their age at the very least, not someone much older, who refers to them as kids. Fourth, I had to do... I was trying to help both of them, more Brick at the time, to get Ava to talk to her and give her closure. I had put myself in a situation that made me uncomfortable and hard to get out of. I wanted to be friends with both Ava and Brick. Though as the conversation continued, I realized it was impossible. I felt like I had to choose who I was going to be friends with and ultimately chose Ava over Brick, which I regret immensely. After this encounter, Brick and I stopped being friends for some time, following Ava and I to no longer be friends a couple months later, December 2023. Adult, by the way. Brick deleting messages. I don't remember deleting those messages, but regardless, telling someone to kill themselves or hurt themselves is never something one can justify. Come on. Flora and I spoke on this before meeting, and I told her my true intent behind why I said those things, and she seemingly understood and agreed with me. I do not think what I said was right, and it was disturbing on my part. Brick wasn't hiding the fact she said bad things to Ava, including blah blah blah. Whatever. They talked it out. Okay. Doxing and swatting threats. Is this the one? Right. This is the one where the threatening phone message was written with the same idiosyncrasies as Brick, the funny one. Me and Brick had nothing to do with this, and also Ava's dead name is known by a lot more people than two. Yeah, as I said, that's not airtight. It's even been leaked by one of Ava's close friends before. I don't know why she would claim... Hold up. Are they including the threat of showing papers, aka docs, from Brick? Don't know why she would claim we're the only two people to know it. Also, Ava had previously been doxed by someone who she later befriended, so it wouldn't be a surprise if that's how Misaka got her number. I cannot stress this enough that I honestly had no clue about any of this happening until Doves messaged me on Ava's behalf, to which I then told him it wasn't me or Brick, to which he told Ava, "Stop, please, learn to write." Neither of us actually wanted to have any harm done to Ava, so trying to accuse us of being involved in this is absurd, and from my association to Misaka I met her months later, I think after everything happened, and I never once leaked Ava's personal number or anything personal regarding her. That's just not the type of person I am. Alright. Please do something insane instead. No! I need to fill up streams because there isn't anything good. What do I have? Yo! That's sick as fuck! I'll show you something my girlfriend just drew, though. Bam. The fucking Ladybug Rider. Very Morrowindian. Very Morrowindian. Fill up streams with games instead. Tomorrow's a gaming stream. Burner. Tomorrow is the treat you get for this. We're doing trash games. We're doing big trash games. That's fucking sick. I like that a lot. Morrowind mod. Itch.io games indeed. Itch.io games indeed. Ooh. Blah blah blah. I sent Doves whatever. I was not very well acquainted with the person who sent the threats, did not share Flora's dead name to anyone. There would be a clear violation of privacy. I'm not sure how this person acquired such personal information, but if they are threatening to dox and swat her, I'm sure they have the means to do so. If they are threatening, I'm sure they have the means. Alright, the dead name's been leaked prior. I wanna... Let me check for, So, if you'll notice... This wasn't addressed. This being sent by Brick, and then the doxing happening later, was not addressed. Only the matter of the source of the info. If I'm going to play Morrowind, you better play one of those big mods. Nah. I don't like that shit. I play Morrowind raw. I also played through Morrowind like 3 times on stream. I'm not doing it again. For gaming stuff, it'll be small bursts. I need to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 at some point. Gankapus got it for me. But that will probably be like, play it just for 2 hours. I don't play that shit. Look at the screenshot product. Except for stream. Literally just like stream content. If it's really good on stream, I'll play it more, but I don't know. I did not share Flora's dead name, blah, blah, blah. Allegations made against me and my encouragement of certain things. So, carry. I would like to start this off by saying, a lot of context is missing or it's a convoluted truth. No, I never forced myself onto Brick or anything of the sort whilst I was visiting her. What actually happened was me and Brick... You imbecile. The point isn't the content of Brick's accusations. It's that Brick is saying this stuff. I never forced myself onto Brick or anything of the sort whilst I was visiting her. What actually happened was me and Brick had been drinking. And while we were hanging out, some things happened which led to Brick having a breakdown. And I spent the next few hours consoling her, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I asked Brick to kiss me 3 different times. Oh, so what Brick was saying was pretty much true anyway. Alright, okay, cool. When you're... The person... Addressing the allegations made by the person you're tag teaming another person with. I think we're too many layers deep at this point. I think we're way too many fucking layers deep. Allegation of threatening Ava in my home is completely false. We've been playing Valorant on my PC since I was 30. I went to the kitchen to grab a drink, and I thought it'd be funny if I grabbed a butter knife and said, I'm going to kill you in a very joking manner. Okay, whatever. Photo from her private saying, like and comment if you would groom me. Whatever. My judgment. They're all freaks, but Ava wins. They're all freaks, but Ava wins. Still. They did well to counter... So they countered the harassment claims, I would suggest. There was mutual contact. It was not as one-sided as Fluorescent was painting it to be. Their dodging of details in this, regarding the docs, is questionable. Their downplaying of the relevance of further context being provided that characterizes the meeting on January 3rd differently is very sus. So regarding the very most important claim, they lose. They lose. I think I might have had something fun to look at. Let me see. what we got. What we got. We might not. We might not. I fucking love ladybugs. You like fun? There might not be any fun, brothers. Let me go on YouTube. Search for fun. See if there's any tiny little thing to look at before I fuck off. Tomorrow will be a trash day. I need to scoop up some more games, but I already have a few. There'll be a fair bit of horror, a fair bit of cringe. A fair bit of cringe horror, even, perhaps. Romero Plays Dusk. Might have to call it. Hopefully next week we have some better stuff. Hopefully there's more to draw from the well. Normally on like a Thursday I try and scrape together things to do for the next week. There's fucking nothing. There's nothing out there. Maybe there'll be more gaming next week, and I'm gonna fill up tomorrow with games. Horrible shit I find. Some of them might be good, sometimes they're good. But I'll be scooping up all sorts of horrendous shit. We'll see. Until tomorrow, though, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you had a fun time. Some of that was funny. Mostly it was pretty dry. Whatever. Until then, thank you for your viewership, companionship, incredible generosity. Lots of bits today. Thank you. Till tomorrow. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't. Let my terrible Scrandle score bite.